Yo, so 11:20, all right? It was quite the chapter indeed, but let's not waste any time. Let's just get in this shit because I have some shit to talk about at the end of this video pertaining to the Eustace Kid situation that got animated yesterday. Yeah, I got some shit to say about that. So the chapter is called Atlas. I wonder what could possibly happen to her here. So we start the chapter off with a fucking bomb. Not quite a nuke, but it's that Clover is a D. Not a huge surprise, and it honestly doesn't even really matter that much, considering that he's fucking dead and all. At least I can only assume. Like, you never know with Oda. But this brings a little light to a lot of other possible hidden Ds that are up and about that just hide their names because of a bad experience relating to it, like what Clover had. Obviously, Law hid it to some extent when he was a kid. There have been quite a few instances like this, and probably a lot of other past Ds, like Law's dad probably told Law to keep quiet about the D in his name because, you know, it's pretty troublesome. I don't know who could possibly be a hidden D out there, maybe like Buggy or like Momo or some shit. Like, it's been a minute since Buggy's got some random, like, plot armor moment of just gifting him some crazy shit out of nowhere. Another pretty big thing that happens in this chapter is that it looks like Lilith is probably going to be temporarily joining the crew, at least in Elbaf. So she's going to be like the new Momo or Carrot or maybe like even Law type of motherfucker. Not too sure how her chemistry is going to be with the crew, but I'm going to assume that she's going to have at least something to talk about with Saul whenever we meet up with him. And obviously Sanji's going to be simping for her. Frankie's going to be fanboying because she's Vegapunk and shit. We finally turn on the motherfucking jets to get off the Labo phase. It feels like the Sunny has been up there for an eternity at this point. It's up there in the fucking anime. It's been up there for months in the anime. And then Atlas starts going to work on Venus. So that may turn into something. Maybe she beats Venus. Then Emeth starts talking to Luffy and he constantly refers to him as Joy Boy. Like, literally, like, constantly referring to him as Joy Boy. Like, literally every 5 seconds, he says, Joy Boy! And the way Emeth talks is like he's constantly under the impression that Luffy is just straight up Joy Boy. He's talking like Luffy should know what Emeth is talking about. Like how he came like he did before, which is just odd because I don't remember Emeth doing anything like this before, at least for Luffy. Like, I think he's talking about previous Joy Boy, but he thinks that Luffy is previous Joy Boy. It's just weird. And then we get the little reveal that Luffy is the only one that can hear Emeth, so it's probably a voice of all things type of deal. Nothing super surprising. This seems to be the deal with all of Joy Boy's former crewmates. I'm still not too sure who exactly gets the voice of all things because the only people we know that have it are Roger, Odin, Momo, and Luffy. And I'm going to assume Momo and Odin are probably hidden Ds. It wouldn't surprise me if they were. But then again, Law was there when Zunisha talked, and he couldn't hear what Zunisha was saying. So I don't know how the fuck this shit works. Maybe it's only for people who, like, seriously alter the future or the dawn of the world or whatever the fuck they say. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, Atlas dies here, surprisingly, with her cool little one-liner send-off. Not going to dwell on this too much, because we've seen her die before. But yeah, rip Atlas. And then we get this little eventful-ass panel. Main takeaway is that the robot is going to pull out some kind of maneuver that previous Joy Boy was telling him to wait for this specific moment to use. First thought is just fucking self-destruction, which would honestly be pretty fucking funny. After all this, he just blows up. That'd be pretty crazy. Or he has some crazy weapon up his sleeve, but we saw him earlier literally moving like his arm, his sleeve up, and it was all rusty, and it didn't work because he's old, and he can't really do anything like that anymore. So I think that might be a stretch. So it's probably blowing himself the fuck up and nuking all of Egghead, which sucks. I mean, I'm going to assume Vegapunk's brain and shit makes it out okay, but I don't see anything else surviving. I think the Gorosei are going to survive unless he somehow takes out the two Gorosei that are trying to fuck with him right now. That'd be pretty nuts. But yeah, that's about it for the chapter. Now I want to talk about the last One Piece episode. And look, I'm pretty happy walking away with it because Kid got his fucking shine in the Shanks future scene. I'm still horny off of that. Oh my god, it's been hours. It was only like a minute long, but I was shooting strings that entire fucking time. No breaks, nothing. Just, I was coming everywhere, nonstop. Now, it did look pretty bad, like the aftermath. I mean, the damage and shit, but look, kid couldn't fucking react, and Shanks didn't even really seem to hit him. Like, he just broke the damned punk cannon, and it backfired on Kid. So technically the damage done to Kid wasn't Shanks, it was himself. Kid did it to himself. Call it cope, but I might be spitting. But yeah, that's about it. Been a pretty eventful ass weekend in the world, and not just One Piece. I'm talking about with the whole situation at the political event. I don't want to say, words in that world because I don't want to attract that crowd. But yeah,